kind of helped them advance. I mean, do you think this is a conspiracy?
Gotta go Jacob Butter. Gotta go lefty.
No, we're talking about the players. That's tournament champion to the podcast.
There he is, right there.
Oh, he doesn't even know how to watch. Go to youtube.com and search Down Lane Podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live from the lab at Town and Country Lanes. I'm your host, Kyle Haines, and with me is the assistant to the host, Anthony Scaccia. Why do you look so stunned over there?
Are we really live?
Yes, we're live.
How did you even hit it? You didn't even hit anything.
I did. I rocked and rolled, man. What's the matter?
I'm dumbfounded by how we did that.
Why?
It looks so much more complicated. There's so many buttons to hit.
There is.
I don't get it, but can you guys hear us? I don't trust
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
If we're looking down tonight, we've got my computer down here, Kyle's computer up there. We've got live updates from the Jax60.
That's right. Live updates from the Jax. We are short the producer tonight, so we are operating everything.
Kyle's doing 3 jobs.
I'm trying desperately.
I know how to work the buttons down here. That's all I know.
Really? So yeah, we got we do have the Jax going on. We're also going to be talking about our
Maldonado just freaking think he 5 count on 4-bagger.
Yikes. He just had a 298 game, and then he comes up to the absolute buzzsaw of
a player, EJ
Tackett, and now he's
okay. He only had 3 in a row.
No, but I'm just saying EJ Tackett himself is a buzzsaw. I'm not just saying that the game. I'm just saying EJ Tackett is a buzzsaw.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, he knows on it, and then he runs everybody over.
So yeah, tonight we're going to be kind of giving our play-by-play, if you will, of
what's going on
Jax60 in the finals here, the stepladder finals. Sean Maldonado did get 4 on that Greek church that he just left. We're also going to talk about our New York State Masters experience this past weekend. We had a practice session for our National Masters
on Tuesday
that we're heading to. We wrapped up our year-long or four-quarter-long challenge night, Wednesday night challenge.
We'll have a recap of that.
Yeah, we'll recap that, how that went. Before all that, Anthony, how was your week this week?
Today's Thursday. So Monday was okay, Tuesday was okay, Wednesday was okay. So I guess we're still here and we're kicking. I mean, I don't know what else to say, Kyle. I'm looking at myself on the screen. I am on the smallest chair possible.
You've been sitting in that chair for weeks now.
I know, but it's just not comfortable. I don't know why I keep doing it. But other than that, yeah, it's been a pretty all right week. Sunday was not a good day for me. Monday was iffy. Tuesday was good, and Wednesday was good. So we are moving and grooving. We're a few weeks away from our national event out in Detroit, so I figured it was time to maybe have a practice session.
And a practice session we did. Before we get to that real quick, EJ Tackett just looks like he is super comfortable. Like compared to Sean Maldonado, again, Maldonado just came off of a 298 game. You would think he's like he would look really comfortable, but Tackett just looks like he is completely in control, not of just this game, but of himself. And he just looks like, he's got nothing to do but just absolutely mash the lanes right now. And he's definitely going to be taking this game. He's got a 187 in the 8th and the next 3. So he's just finishing up this 10th frame, and Maldonado can strike out for a 210. So EJ Tackett will be advancing to
the finals
against
Simonson.
So yeah, we practiced but we practiced for our trip to the Masters. We went over to your uncle's place, Boulevard Bowls, Schenectady.
Hey, we went over to Boulevard. That was good. We saw the guys. My uncle forgot to tell him we were coming. So he
forgot to remember that we were coming.
Yeah, he forgot to remember that we were coming. Yeah. But he's a busy guy, so we went down there. It wasn't a big deal. We got the guys to oil us up a pair of lanes, which was nice. They oiled a pair and then oiled our lane, so they actually got that lane machine really primed and running.
No, back up a second. He double burned.
That's what I said. Yeah,
and then oiled our lanes.
He really got that lane machine pumping before we started. So my uncle's got 40 lanes down there of HPL lane service installed in the early 2000s. Why does that matter? Well, we have new synthetics here that were installed about 2 years ago with the They're about 5 years old from another center. So the friction differences are crazy. And we bowled on, I think, Dead Man's Curve, which is 43 feet, 25 mils. So, you're not going to say anything? Okay.
No. Go ahead.
So that was good.
I was just saying hello to. I was gonna say hello to born in 1500.
You're older than dirt. So we bowled on Dead Man's Curve, and so they did a pair for us. Our ideas of practicing might be different than some other people's in terms of how we did it. So it wasn't really a drills day. It was more of how the balls were going to roll on a higher friction surface, just to see what was going on. On the different lane surface. So we went down there. We saw a lot of different things. I bowled in the left lane. He bowled in the right lane. I don't know what pair we were on, 35, 36 maybe. And I was on 35, Kyle was on 36. We did practice. We practiced for about 10, 15 minutes just to warm up because, not really need to rush. I mean, I planned on taking the day to do that. And we bowled about 5 games on each pair, but we didn't cross lane. We didn't bowl league style. We did not cross. Reason being is we were able to play with some different balls on the fresh, and then the burn, transition. I feel like I'm so small right now. Like, look at me on the screen.
Well, yeah, you're scrunching.
Does this look better? So after we did our first session, where I think we bowled 5 games with the practice, we ended up flip-flopping lanes, and what that did was that was able to give us another opportunity to bowl on the fresh on just another lane. Now, granted, sure, topography is different, whatever, but it just overall – you can kind of see how they're playing. Give your best effort.
Yeah.
Which my effort was very good. Scoring was very poor. I think I didn't shoot a game over 180 the first set on the left lane. Went to the right lane and then kind of calibrated what I was using to start with and where I was playing a little bit, and just changed a little bit here and there, and ended up basically going about plus 60 to 80 for the 3. And then after that, I tried to use some other balls around. See what was going on. But it was a good session. We didn't really have any distractions. Nobody was really down there talking to me. It was only a few guys that were there. So that was good.
Yeah, so there's 2 reasons to go there. One was to not be bothered by work here at Town and Country.
Because when I'm here, I'm working.
But 2, to, like you said at the beginning, to get a different look at a different lane surface. Just a quick update. They did finish that game, 247 to 190. And now Simon was practicing on the finals pair. EJ's off to the left, practicing, keeping warm.
Keeping it loose. A different lane surface, less people.
Yeah.
For me at least, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And it was really good to be able to use some, not just different equipment, because you can throw different equipment at any time, but it forced me to actually decide to use different equipment. So like, on the right lane, for example, which is where I started. You started on the left lane.
Right.
I started with, I think, like my brutal collision or something. Is that right?
Trailblazer.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I remember you said you started with it, and then it went away after 5 frames of the first game.
Okay.
That's what I thought you said.
Anyway, but then I switched to the brutal collision. And then I forget where I went after that. Maybe
IQ Tour,
Phase 5, etc. But then, I was right around, I don't know, minus 10 or minus 20. Just as a, not that we were keeping score per se, but just to keep us
you can see what you're shooting, how's your spare percentage,
right?
What are you leaving? Because you can get lost in that if you're just kind of throwing shots. In my opinion, like I can get lost. I can throw 10 strikes in a row and not really think about it in practice, and then you put the scores on. And you're like, oh well, I do remember that was kind of like a light hit. Oh, I finally let the 7. That wasn't a good shot. So it just kind of refreshes your memory.
So then we flip flop lanes, and which was really nice because then a completely different plan of attack. You're
able to try different balls,
and
then without hitting it any transition, and then you could kind of say, well, I've tried this to this, okay, and I was playing this area. Well, I think I got to go to this zone and try maybe doing something like that. So that's how we like to practice.
Right.
I think it worked out good because the second set, I think
we both mashed them. Yeah,
we both did a lot better. And I think we both had different plans of attack.
Yep.
I mean, Kyle actually finally threw a ball that I've been preaching to throw for
Oh, that's right.
years.
That's right. I started with that.
You start with a bonus.
Pin down bonus.
Kyle has yet to use that. He's like, oh,
Couldn't
it's too
miss.
whippy. It's too whippy. It's too
Well,
whippy.
it didn't whip in the friction.
No, and that's what it's for. It just kind of peels up or rolls up. It doesn't peel off the spot like his IQ does. And then I think you went to your IQ the second set, and that kind of gets a little bit more whippier down lane.
Yep.
So,
And then the phase 5 eventually.
Yeah. I tried to play the gutter the first half or get closer to the gutter with like some stuff that retained a little more energy because my stuff was too early. The bigger stuff. So I tried like a purple reactive on the left lane, which was my first attempt. And then what I ended up doing was I went to my trusty defender. And it
rolled really good.
I just kind of played it like the friction was the gutter, which was right around 6 for me. And I fired up the lane a little straighter. So ended up doing really well with that ball. Your brutal collision looked okay, I think, at one point as well.
It looked okay on the first block, but it was not great. Like it just didn't strike a lot. So that's when we switched lanes. I think I stuck with all symmetric. Yeah, and it was all just way better.
Yeah,
so it stayed through the friction better, rather than rolling too early or reading too early, and bleeding off, if you will. So
the funny thing is as we bowled and I moved in, I got a better look, and it seems as if it was just like this weekend for me.
Down on Long Island.
Yeah, it was exactly like Boulevard's shot. They put out 41 feet in Long Island. They put out 43 feet for us over there.
Mm-hmm.
They played almost identical for how I had to play them to play them right, I think.
Yeah.
Transitioning to Saturday now because we had a good sound. Do you have anything else on Tuesday to add?
No. Practice. That's good. That's good.
That was good. And then transitioning to Saturday, we bowled New York State Masters.
Real quick before you get started, handshakes have occurred. Match is just about to begin.
The fans are going crazy right now.
That's right. And let me tell you something. Jax60, what a place! They had like hundreds of people for their pro-am. The place is packed. Looks like a nice center. And Simo, it looks like he's leading off on the
left lane.
Left lane.
For an idle Cosmos, it looks like. Anyways, back to the Masters. New York State Masters?
Yes, New York State Masters down Long Island, Harold Lanes.
Harold Lanes, they put out 41 feet, 27, 28 mils. I can't remember exactly which one.
Brunswick Pro Lane.
Yep, so we went down there, and of course, I drew 5 and 6, and I'm so excited. I'm just going to start from the beginning. I'm so excited for 5 and 6 because I'm going to miss 1 and 2.
Simo strike on the left lane.
Somebody said 600 for the Pro-Am, Eileen. Yep, Eileen.
Yeah, so Jacob Butturf did say that there was 600 people there for the Pro-Am. The registration sheet said that there was a max of 234 entries. So I do wonder if they did let other people into the building just to view. And we are tied in the first frame. Each guy's got a strike. So there could have been that many people there. I saw the picture that Jacob Butturf posted, and there was a huge line out the door.
I wonder if they did 230 or whatever it was for bowling.
Yes,
and then they charged a cover fee to come
exactly.
And just kind of hang out and be around. So thanks for that question, Eileen.
No, you don't have to be wrong, Eileen. It was that's what was posted out there. 600 people.
So we went down and bowled New York State Masters. Like I said, 41 feet, 28 mils. I'm on 5 and 6. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna miss 1 and 2. Well, hey, we're gonna move left today, and you're gonna go to 1 and 2.
Yeah, it was. I don't know that I've
never fails.
Listen, I've bowled in a bunch of tournaments and
never gone left.
I think that was the first time I've crossed left.
Whatever it is,
I've done staggered skips, and one except for when we split and one pair goes left and one pair goes right.
But we just all left.
Everybody just went left, so it was fun.
Yeah, it was different. I was like, oh, of course I got to hit 1 and 2, but so I end up opening in the 10th. The gutter looks okay. I'm pretty sure I can get on it and play it pretty well. It was on urethane, and I went to 1 and 2.
Tied through 2 doubles each guy.
Thanks, Kyle.
Sorry, the people want the updates. I'm going to give them the updates.
Sure, they're texting you. You can't stop yourself. Anyways, well, I must have switched balls in the left lane already, but or maybe that's the right lane.
That's the right lane.
That's the right lane. Never mind. So we were going down there. I hit 1 and 2. It hooked about 15 boards more. I crossed over for the first 2. I ball changed, moved about 12 right, and I just threw it to the gutter. It got to like 5 in a row, and I'm like, okay, this game, we got 190 with 3 opens or 3 opens, and one was in the 10th first game. So I'm like, all right, I'm not really doing too bad. The cut was plus 15. So I got like the front 5. I missed one in. Okay.
Ooh.
Drop the spare. Thank you. Please drive through.
Big miss for Simon. 2, 4, 8, 10.
And after that, I was like, okay, just trust it left. Gutter ball. Then I made the spare. The hardest spare in bowling, I made the spare. And then I didn't blow good after that, and I shot another 190, 180 games. So I'm like minus like 15 or 20, not even 20 at this point. And things just weren't looking up for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the high end. I moved 5 left to start just to say, okay, this pair's going to be tighter, and I threw 3. And it was
3 count.
Yeah, it was a good
Not
shot.
3 in a row, 3 count.
Yeah. Not a good shot. Like kind of where I was looking. So after that, I had to fish around a little bit. I ended up shooting like 171 that game. I really wasn't out of it. I needed some really good ball reaction, some big games. I didn't really get decent ball reaction till the end. I moved like 20 boards right and played them way in. So compared to, I know it's older pro lane, and somebody said they hooked. I mean, they hooked early.
Oh my God! They hooked early. They hooked fast.
Right.
Like right out of practice, they started hooking.
And that's been my issue. You know?
I started with sanded equipment in practice, and I put it immediately in the bag frame 1.
Could you even throw the ball?
We'll get to that in a minute.
But
real quick, I just want to say Simonson got an open in the 3rd, and I feel like you don't give this kid an open when he's bowling like this.
EJ Tackett?
Yeah.
Well, you can't. The dude's he's booming it down lane. The ball's rolling really good. I don't really see him shooting anything.
He's got the front 3.
Here. He's got ball reaction for 240 at least.
Yeah. He's just lofting it, and it is.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah.
So in terms of bowling down there and bowling up Boulevard, I mean, I kind of had a very similar look. I thought I got into the same part of the lane with the same ball and got the ball to peel back twice. So that's kind of my weakness. Just good enough to look good in the gutter. I think I'm good enough to kind of make it work and get there, which I should be able to. But it wasn't the way the cookie crumbled this week. I had to get in. If I got in quicker, I probably would have bowled better. I've gotten a lot better at moving in and bowling in because the past 2 times I've bowled in. When I got lined up down there, I repeated really well. And then when we went to Boulevard, I did play pretty far in. I thought on the first set, so I was able to repeat down there as well. So I got to just trust my eyes a little bit and make sure that I know what's going on and not have to say, oh, I got to be here because it's close. Yeah. No, if you're not throwing strikes and guys are throwing strikes, you got to go in a the other lefties mashed them. I tried to move into where they were.
Some other lefties mashed them, yeah.
Quite a few. Yeah. It was a lefty final.
That's true, yeah.
Most lefties mashed them. So that's just an error on my part.
Yep. My cousin made the
Gary shot 300. I went to his lanes and I threw 4 on the first shot. So clearly, it just wasn't my week. And the past few months I've had, I can't be too upset about having one really off event. Yeah. And it's probably good that I got it now.
Get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way. Make myself reset and refocus to get ready for the next 2 weeks. We got a few more events coming up. So.
Yep.
How'd your week go on Saturday, Kyle?
Simon just doubled, so he's trying to keep it close here.
I wonder if the racks are off. He'll let us know.
I don't think it was the rack's fault that he missed 4 to the right.
No, it should have been shifted. It should have been shifted, Kyle.
So yeah, my State Masters event was
eventful.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
We said hi to the Lutes.
Oh yeah, so let's talk about the beginning of the day. We get down there, we're walking around, watching the first shift bowl. We happen to walk by the pro shop, and out of the corner of my eye, I recognize the pro shop operator. I shouldn't call him the pro shop operator. The pro. He's a true pro. I whip my head over. It's freaking time to lose tuner.
Yep.
Hello. I said, Ant, look. Ant, look.
All right. Jeez.
And he goes, what? I'm like, look who it is. He goes, who's that?
I don't know.
I'm like, are you kidding me right now?
Dude, he was 2004.
I said, you're joking, right?
You graduated in 2004. I was in 4th grade.
So we're with another friend of ours, Alex Bonesteel, and Steely Bones, if you're watching, I'm throwing you under the bus too.
Right.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Stone 9
for EJ. That was a nasty Stone 9.
It was a good shot. Oh, he's not happy.
That was after the front 6.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go, Alex, look who it is. And he goes, who's that? Like, you guys, I'm not that freaking old, man.
No, you're not that old, but I'm just saying I didn't know who it was because I never watched when I was a kid.
I know.
I don't know who that was. I don't even really watch. Like, I watch now, but it's not like
Anyway, national touring pro.
I
Did
don't
it for
know.
20 years.
He
Couple
knew
of
my
tour
dad.
titles.
We went in and said hi because my dad knew him.
So I messaged your dad. I said, "Hey, guess who the pro shop guy is here at Harold Lane's?" And it's Tommy Duluth.
And he said, "Who?" No, I'm just kidding.
he goes, tell him I said hello. We both together. So I said, "Hey,
Kyle made me go in.
Scaccia says hello," and he's like, "Who?" He goes, "No, yeah."
He kind of knew where we were from.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, you guys are up near Albany, right?"
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun to talk to him for a minute. And then he promptly kicked us out of his pro shop.
Not really. He just said he doesn't like the barbershop talk, and
That's
he was.
right.
I think he was actually working too.
Yeah, he was working. He worked 60 hours a week.
Yeah, he was. He had a guy in there.
he was busy.
So yeah, he had stuff to do. Yeah.
So anyway, so we get to bowling, right? So we have some lunch. We get ready for bowling. I surface up my bowling balls. I put my thumb in the ball. Let me start over again. What we talked about last week, I got a new milled thumb.
So excited.
I got a new milled thumb. For a week, I was throwing it so good.
Ruined.
It worked so good.
Ruined.
What happens when I show up on Saturday? Can't put my thumb in the ball.
All I know is Kyle texted and said, "How's it go?" He writes, "Can't get thumb in the ball."
Ooh, Simon almost leaves a 7-10, knocks the 10 out, leaves a 7-pin. Still behind.
So what did you do after you couldn't get your thumb in the ball?
I can't get my thumb in the ball. I still have my old thumb, and it's so enormous that it's like I can't even hold on to the ball.
Right.
So I'm flip-flopping between those two thumbs. I take my 360 Abralon pad, I roll it up, and start just shoving it into the thumb to try to make it bigger. And it works. It does work. So every half a game,
is that where my 360 pad went over my shoulder?
I got that weeks ago. Every half a game, my thumb starts to fit, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I can throw it. So first game, I'm just dealing with the thumb. I shoot 170. Second game, I have my 3D offset, and I move in a little bit. I think I have an open or a spare, I can't remember, and then a triple. And I'm like, oh man, my thumb's fitting good. I got a triple. This game's gonna go good. Day's not over. You know what I mean? It's only game 2. Day's not over.
Day's over.
Next shot, can't get my thumb out of the ball. I almost went down the lane a couple of times. One time the ball didn't even come off.
I saw that. I actually walked down to go grab another ball. I'm like, oh, let's see how Kyle's ball. I watch you throw the ball, and all of a sudden you try to throw it, and I was like, oh, that's not good. I better walk faster.
It literally did not come off. I had to put the ball down on the chair to get my hand out of the ball.
Good thing was you were a little smiley after.
Listen,
there was really nothing
those
we could
things
do.
You can't control. So, and like when I switched back to my old thumb, I could not get my thumb out of the ball. So what
did we do when we came home on Monday?
So we made two more thumbs.
Two. That's right.
We opened up that one and we made 2 more other ones. So we have a small, medium, large.
And they still don't fit.
EJ is still mashing them. He strike out for 279. I did have to open it up again last night.
The large one, right?
The problem with the milled thumb, it's not a problem. The thing about a milled thumb is that they are very snug, but they come out super fast. So it's like you're really walking a tightrope to find that perfect fit where it's like you're not going to get stuck, but you're going to come out just right.
Yes, I ended up doing the same thing. I was really close on one, and then I was like, I'm just going to make 2 more. I've almost been through a box of slugs at this point. Okay? So I made another 2 slugs, and what I did was I made them bigger, but I made the knuckle smaller on these ones, and I made the front to back bigger. So
more rounded, less oval.
It was a kind of it's still ovaled, but it's not as
more
round,
less oval.
Right. So the one I have that's really good that I use for everything still, is wider on it was wide on the knuckle. So what ended up happening was when we made the mills, it had to be a little tighter. That's
PBA washout for
that's a 5 count.
PBA washout for
Andrew.
Simon.
You can watch the.
So Andrew, you gotta go to TV and subscribe to watch the Jackson Classic. So this is the final match. Simonson against Tackett.
It looks like it's about over here.
Yeah, Simonson it looked like he tugged that one too. And it just skated on him, and he left what they call a PBA washout, which is the added 6-pin to the washout. And he got the front 3 out of that.
So what we found with milled thumbs, right? We're back to milled thumbs now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Back to the milled thumbs. We kept them a little tighter. The Andrew, the stream is on Bowl TV.
Yeah, so you go to bowl.com or
And that's it right
bowltv.com
there.
and
EJ
EJ Tackett strikes out, third title of the year.
Every other week.
Absolutely
Every other week
mashing it
kind of guy.
right
He
now.
should skip next week and then bowl the week after that, which means he's going to be no good for the Masters. So.
Oh yeah, EJ's out for the Masters. All right, we got a chance.
Not to come last. But yeah, so we ended up doing no
what
thumbs.
a season for this kid! Unbelievable. I'm
sorry. I ended up going a little tighter on the knuckle because my original thumb is a little bigger, and it is done by hand. So I took it from 7/8, and it's about an inch front to back and an inch and 5/64 on the knuckle. I'm gonna call it whatever. I've got a caliper that does it for me. So I ended up doing that on the first thumb I made. I had 15 pieces of tape in this thing. I still couldn't hold it. So I've been playing with it ever since. I got it pretty close, and then I actually worked out the rest by hand. So I've gotten it pretty close. They are able to be used with like 4 pieces of tape in it, and I feel like that's not all I need. And it feels really close. The two are very close, and the other one is my good one that's done by hand is also very close. So I've got like 3 that are pretty good now that should be able to service me the rest of the year, hopefully for next coming years. But no thumb makes a huge difference. And it's just hard because I'm still kind of learning about it. Kyle's learning about what he likes. And unfortunately, he had that experience there. So it's glad we got it out now instead of at the Masters.
Yeah, you guys yelled at me like, "Why did you use your new thumb?" I was like, I used it all week long.
Like, that's happened to me too. I used all my new thumbs all week, and then I went to go bowl, and I used my old thumbs.
Right.
Because like I didn't have the fuel from the other ones that day.
But when I used my old thumb, I went and used my
I know
old
you
thumb.
said it was enormous.
It was horrible.
But that's the thing. You started with the other one and then went to the old one, and then it felt even worse because the other one felt pretty good. So like I think that's kind of what happened. I didn't go to that route. I went right to my old thumbs, and that was it.
The one thing I didn't try was use my thumb in my spare ball, which is the spare ball, my purple hammer. But that has reverse pitch in it. So
you would cleared it like a son of a bitch.
Right. I was sticking in that one too, though.
Wow, so
crazy.
Too much salt.
My thought, yeah. I may have eaten like a gluttonous animal on Friday night, which was a.
Did you?
Listen, if you're gonna take a tournament seriously, don't be an idiot and eat like.
I mean, I can do it. I can do whatever I want. I feel as if my thumbs are okay.
Yeah, I had a serious problem. I was completely swollen. It was like when we were out in Vegas. I think we ate somewhere. I can't remember where it was, and everybody had the same problem. We all had a bunch of salt, and everybody's like, "What the heck is happening to our hands?" And we all felt really, really swollen.
Did I?
I just a bunch of us did.
Well, I don't know.
It was
my thumb is huge, so
the food that we were eating.
My thumb is pretty huge, but we did find that out. So if you get a chance to check out a milled thumb, we've had kind of like, we've kind of finagled a few here and there, but we've actually got one bit right now that we're working with. Probably going to pick up a few more maybe for next season. We'll have to see how things are going. But it definitely changes the game here. I actually have been using them for the customers too. I gave myself about 2 or 3 weeks, played with some of the guys who are a little closer to me just to make sure that we could get them right. And I just milled 2 guys' thumbs today. I will tell you that my hands do not hurt nearly as much anymore, which is awesome because usually when you do it by hand, you're grabbing with your hand, you're using small tools. It hurts my hands to do. So these are going to make my life a little easier. So we might get one every.
You're talking about when you're working it out.
Yeah, when you're working out. So with the milled thumbs, I'm able to
Yeah.
use them and not have to worry about my hands so much because it's a little easier, a little crisper. Yeah.
Born in 1500, EJ shot 270. They didn't show the score. It was 278 or 277. One of those two. He just kind of whipped it down the lane. But yeah, he definitely
did finish it off.
But he shot 278, 277, something like that.
Yeah, he bowled great. A lot of really good down lane motion. Venom shock on the right lane, and then the primal shock on the left lane. I'm pretty sure it's called primal shock, which is a Venom shock cover, which is a different core. And then the other one was just, of course, the OG Venom shock. So those balls look really good too.
Yeah.
We have been seeing them quite often. But yeah, going to Saturday, we didn't really do the best, which prompted us that big Tuesday session. And now I think that takes us into our recap. Do we have anything else to add for Saturday?
No, Saturday's good. I could not throw the ball for 5 games straight, so that's all I had to say about Saturday.
Right. And then I just bowled bad. Rather get it out now.
Yeah.
So I figure we can. Is it time to recap our first ever inaugural
season
of our challenge right here?
Before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Don't forget to check out the Etsy shop, which has our new shirts.
We'll link it over my shoulder.
Which are the Thane Bang shirts. You can check out our Facebook page, our socials, all that good stuff, where we are posting on the regular. That being said, let's get into the next topic that we want to talk about.
Well, it's our inaugural season is over for our challenge night. The idea I think we should start stemmed from we bowled every Wednesday night. We just did a practice session.
Yeah.
And I felt as if that was awesome. We loved it. We had a bunch of guys that came out, but we kind of threw around the idea of putting something together where it wasn't a league, but it was a league, but it kind of wasn't, but it kind of was. And then we went.
What was it?
We went up to Tuesday night.
East Greenbush.
They have a Capital
Eric Moret.
Challenge League. And we saw they did non-commitment. We kind of thought about that. We just weren't sure how we were gonna go about it this year. So we ended up kind of talking some guys out. The producer gave us a good idea to do a point system because
What?
No, they just don't look, no. I don't know.
They just don't know what they're doing.
It doesn't look like they know what's going on. So, anyways, we went and did that with the points. Thanks to Austin for the idea. Maybe it was Joe. Joe texted me.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus. Thanks, Joe. Cheers. Well, Austin gave us a good idea to do points because we were going to do a sweeper where it depends on where you finish. But if we get 20 people one week and 10 people another week, the points aren't going to add up. It's not going to be fair for everybody. So the point system we used was depending on your score. That's how we kind of determine points for the full year. And then we get a sweeper.
You bowl over this game, you get this many points.
170 was 1, 171 to 180 was 2, 181 to 190 was 3, and it just kind of went up.
Yeah.
And so we ended up running it kind of like that. Not kind of like that. We did run it like that. And so we kind of have some results here for everybody. We can kind of show. We don't know how many entries we fully had. Our clean pot got to $300, which got dispersed last night. Anybody who threw a clean game. Okay, Kyle.
Yes.
Anybody who got a clean game got a share. And if anybody was clean for the 3 games, they got the whole pot. Turns out I missed a 7-pin game 1 after the front 7. Kyle was clean, so he got a share.
Yep.
The second game, I ended up being clean. Game 2, and one of our guys, Tom Anderson, was clean into the 10th and then opened with a split, so he didn't have a share. And then the last game, Tom ended up being clean that game too, and I missed a 7-pin frame 2. So I had 2 opens last night, both were 7 pins.
It worked out perfectly.
And we had 3 guys who hit the clean pot for $100 each, which was awesome. So that was good. Nobody hit it all year. It just kind of rolled over. It was kind of nice to have that extra incentive, like, hey, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So did that, and then we do have, some more information about, what I did a nice little sheet here for. Can you keep going?
Yeah.
I did a nice sheet here for the guys. We have a nice little summary page in the back that I did. But at the end of the year, we pay if you made 4 weeks out of 6, we did 4 6-week quarters. So if you hit 4 weeks out of 6 in one quarter, you automatically cash regardless of your points. Loaded cash was like $20 or $25 each week. And in this particular quarter, I think we paid out $460, which was almost the most. I think it was second most out of the 4 quarters we had. First place was 70, second was 60, third was 55, fourth was 50, and 45, 40, 35, 35, 30, 30. I'm not going to
and it's really not about the money. It's more about the experience and the practice and just like the club that we've been talking about all season long, the last couple of years, really. It's just another time to be able to
test your skills
in a competitive environment.
Right. And I think
it's fun. We're out there having fun.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I think it also, when you get down to the 3rd game and I know I need like a double to beat Kyle I'm really in that mode. Yeah. So when you get out into the events, I feel like
it helps you.
It helps because when I was bowling the regional, I think I said that in the podcast that I felt like that kind of helped propel me because every shot I knew was important, but I was able to stay focused and said, I've been here before. I can make that shot. I'm not really worried about it. Before that, when I haven't been there as much, you kind of don't have that experience. You might try to rush it or something like that. But in this situation, it kind of gets you prepped for those as well because there is a little bit of pressure on the line because it is a sweeper. We are running sweepers, and then we had a breakdown where $7 went to the sweeper, $5 of our entry fee went to the quarterly. So there was 2 separate kind of like prize funds. So that way everybody got a piece of the pie. And then we had a strikeout pot like they run over at the CDCL, they call it, where if you struck out in the 10th, you get a share of some winnings, which a few people had hit this year. Some different people hit it. And then, of course, we're an eliminator and jackpot, which I have a different kind of idea for next year. We'll have to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, for the first year was good. This quarter we had 10 people out of, it looks like about 15 qualify to get paid. And I didn't qualify this quarter because I couldn't. I had some stuff going on. I had to work. I missed a night here or there, and then I was sick. So Kyle actually on the whole season was third place in total points. Congratulations, Kyle. 710 points. We have a little breakdown. Nick Harris was our overall winner. We've talked. He should be on the show because we just talk about him sometimes, and I think people need a name to the face.
Face to the name.
Yeah. He ended up winning 754 total.
Yeah, and he could come in. He wouldn't even need a microphone.
No, he's so loud. He was our total winner, 754 points, ranked number 1. He ended up, let's see, he had the most points in a season. In second place was our good friend Artie Hoffman at 731. And then
Excellent bowler. Yep,
Kyle was 710. And then I did do most points in a quarter. We have a little record here. I had 242 the first quarter. I think I shot 750.
Yeah, that's when the lanes were easy.
It was the easy quarter. I will give him that. It was an easier quarter to kind of ease people in.
Left his walled.
And then Nick Harris and Mark Taylor were second with 220, and then I had 2, and Mark Taylor had 218 quarter 3, and quarter 3 I had 208. So we have that. We have like a little record section here. I'm going to show the guys tonight. It's a little recap of the year.
Nice.
And then high average, you had to have at least half the games in. I was 215. Mark Taylor 213. Nick Harris was 206, and Kyle was 199. Rounded up to 200. He had some bad weeks in there, though.
I had some terrible weeks in there.
Really, you had some bad weeks where I looked at the other scores, and not as many people had. Those top guys didn't have those weeks. So
had some average killers.
Yeah, you had some average killers, I will say, but some of the other, like you shot a boatload for the first 2 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had a few bad nights here and there. Mm-hmm. So that was good. I mean,
I'll tell you, we talked about it before, but the USBC shots
are
effing hard.
Yeah, there's more. Like we've talked about the PBA, I feel like there's multiple attack angles. Mm-hmm. They kind of give you an open look everywhere. Is it going to work all the time? No. But it. They give you a shot. You got to make a really good shot. They don't take it away. USBC shots, I feel as if
this is your spot.
This is your spot. That's where you play.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different in that aspect. We've noticed, and we made all the all the quarters were besides the first one were like a theme. So we had the International Bowling Federation patterns. Yep. We had the USBC patterns, and the last one we did perfect attendance and high averages got to pick their own patterns. So we had some themes in there to, and we did see some different themes. I think we talked about the tournament club to this, to the IBF, to the USBC. They all have their own kind of things. But overall, recapping the season, I don't know how many entries we had, not like counting like double entries, like how many we had a week.
I would say on average, without being scientific about it, I would say on average 12. We had 10 or 12.
12.
No, not even 10 or 12. I think you're right. 12.
12 is probably about it. Right now. I think 14 is reaching. We did have 14 every so often. It was normal to have 14 every so often, but 90% of the time it was 12.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever dropped below 10.
I think you're right.
I don't think we dropped below 10, so 10 seems like it would be a little bit low. I can't remember. We might have once or twice, depending. Some people got sick. Some people had stuff going on.
I think it really has to do with the time.
It's 9 o'clock at night.
And it's really 9:15 because our tournament club, we have 40 members.
Right.
You know what I mean? And on average, we get 30 people to show up for the tournament. So I don't think it's the challenge that's deterring people.
I think it's just the timing. And I agree with you there. It's the only time that we really have available.
Right.
But it is nice because the guys who do come out, one, we don't get any complaining because you can't complain about anything. This is going to unmask you. It's going to pull your pants down. I don't know what you're going to say. It's going to show you everything. Are you making your spares? Are you making good shots? It's going to tell you what's going on.
Right.
And then, nobody
or are you making the right decisions? Because I will tell you, 9 times out of 10, it's even though I do have physical game problems every now and again, for me, it is decision making.
Yeah. And the other thing that I have also available is I did run this in our league secretary software. So I can give everybody their scores from every week. They can see what their game 1, what their game 2, and what their game 3 average was. And for a lot of people, believe it or not, their game 2 average was extremely low. You would start 205 and then, you'd go to 190, then you go back to 200. So the transition game would get you. That was more or less the trend. I think there was only one person or two people who actually went up. I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure there's only one person that went up every game.
Nick Harris. Or no, Mark Taylor went up every game.
He went like, by the game he went up. He went like 200, 202, 210 or roughly whatever. I was like 215, 200, 215 or 2 something like that.
Right.
So we have all that statistics as well for the people. So not only are they getting experience on the lanes, but we have records from every week. So we're able to say, hey guys, this is your weak spot. Yours is finishing game 3 when they really are wide open, or yours is the fresh, or yours is you just got to get the lanes worn in to get better. So we have all that information for everybody too, if they're willing to, or if they want it. So this kind of did it was a nice little thing. I thought there could be a few changes in the future, maybe to try to draw some more interest in. I know it is late, but I think we chatted about it today. Kyle said he doesn't really give a crap. He says, I'm going to be there to bowl anyways. But I think there needs to be some kind of extra added thing into there that's not expensive. I think maybe you take away a side event, and maybe every quarter we do like an extra doubles too, where it's like another $5 a guy. If you have a doubles partner, it's an extra $5 a guy, $10 a team. And you can do, if you make, every 4 out of 6 as a team, you get points that way, and you can kind of climb the ladder that way and qualify. So that would be cool to pull in some people and maybe average cap it. That was my thought. Just because that way I can get a guy and say, well, I got to be under, I think we said 420.
Yeah.
Because that's 210 a guy. So in reality, I got to find a guy who's re-rated right around 200, which
is not that hard.
No, it wouldn't be that hard, but I don't. Yeah. It would just make it more fun, I think, if I could pull just somebody new. That way we can try to pull some more people in and have a good time. And we are fast at bowling too. So we're done at 10:20.
Yeah,
done at 10:20, and you can practice when you're done.
A little later,
depending on how many people prepare.
All right.
So
update. Update. Masters update.
Started jump.
Masters update. We got our squad assignments.
That's right. We did.
So we are bowling B squad.
Me too.
In Detroit.
I don't have a squad yet.
No, you have a name change.
Maybe I have a name change. Maybe I don't.
Anthony Scaccia from Voorheesville, New York.
I'm currently Anthony Scaccia on the Masters report. SCADDIA instead of CC. I did email them and said, hey, listen, I know this guy, Scotty, is pretty good. I might be better than him. I just told him I don't know if it matters for registration when you walk in. I don't know if they have to do anything like that or if anything really matters. But I was like, it is wrong.
Yeah.
And I hope they didn't take it as this guy's a jerk. But like, what if I show up and they're like, there's no Scaccia on here. There's a Scaccia. And I'm like, yeah, that's not me.
I'm sure you could just provide your sanction number.
Well,
and be all right,
but that's the one thing that kind of bothered me a little bit is that I had to actually give them my sanction number.
Yeah, in order to register.
So I wonder if they just type in the number, like the sanction number, or I wonder if they have a program where they actually have to put like a list on Excel and they have to type it all in.
It's probably, listen,
because
who are we talking about?
Right. I'll be honest with you. I kind of laughed because C and D are very close, so maybe there was just a typo because it's literally one key underneath.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got to do so many names, or he or she or whoever.
If it's the tournament director, then there's like a few hundred people on that list.
Right. So
it's a humongous list.
I'm not mad. I just thought it was kind of like I was like Kyle sent it to me and I was like, what the heck? But we got B squad.
B squad.
So what do you feel about that, Kyle?
I don't feel any kind of way. The only thing I am a little, it is what it is. But the only thing I'm like a little thinking about is how to attack the fact that we are bowling the burn the very first day.
I think that's a good thing for multiple reasons. Do you want me to elaborate or do you want to go first?
Go on.
I've been talking a lot today. I just want to see if you want to jump in.
Well, no, I think it could go. It could be good. It could be bad. I mean, it's just, like the burn day is going to be kind of the high scoring day.
You're hoping,
right? Like for me, I was thinking it would be nice to be able to transition into the burn, so you kind of know where you left off. Not that that's where you would leave off. Like I would assume that you would end up going back right a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But But yeah, it's just like it'll be interesting to see where the lanes ended up or where they.
There's gonna be no like. We're not gonna have like a heads up.
Right.
I feel as if we were like a squad or C squad. If you're C squad, you can go a little early.
Yeah.
Just to go check in and get ready. And
I mean,
you can see
we
what's
can
going
do
on.
the same thing.
No, we can't because we're burned the first day. The other two are fresh. So what I'm saying is we're not going to be able to say, okay, we're A squad. We just got done bowling.
We can go watch the A squad and see where they finished up.
That's not my point, though.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, like, if we were A squad and we got done, we could walk out.
And watch the guys on the burn
and see where they start and see and then go back and see where they finish.
Understood. Okay.
In this case, it's we can see where they're playing A squad, but like, oh, they went to this ball later in the block and they were starting with this ball here. Okay, so that means I should be.
But we also have the same advantage for them on the fresh who haven't seen it.
Sure. And I feel like it's an advantage in a ways because if we start with the burn and we can manage the burn.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to say manage because I don't know. Maybe it won't be my high score. Maybe it will be my high score. I don't know. All I'm saying is that if we get, because we're going to go B squad, A squad, C squad, right? From what I was told. If that's true.
It's afternoon.
Afternoon, morning, night.
Yes.
Because the C can't go to A because they need more rest or something. We're not sure if that's true. I don't know if it is.
I already looked at it, but I forget now.
But if it is true, we're going to get burned both days. So I feel like the strategy stays consistent. You start with burn, you figure out how to play the burn, and then the next day you go in for fresh and you have your attack plan. If it doesn't work, you're bowling fresh again. You're bowling fresh back-to-back days.
You always get two.
I know, but we're getting it back.
Oh, back-to-back. Right.
Yeah. So if it's like, oh, I was really close with this ball. If I go in and see the same thing, I should be able to whack them if I just ball change just a little differently. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm looking at. The one thing that kind of I noticed is that a lot of we've got some good players on our squad.
We have the nighttime on Wednesday. You're right. Yeah.
The squads of A and C seem to have. I didn't count because I don't have time to count. Most of the better players or the higher ranking players seem to be in A and C. Not saying that there aren't good players in our squad. It just seems like
most of us schlubs are in B.
I don't really know if it's most of us. I think there's just a bunch of guys like us, but I think like the top tier guys that you see on tour, like the high up guys are A or C. I mean, we do have the Tang brothers and Stu Williams and Brad and Kyle, but like if I remember Belmo and EJ, I'm pretty sure are like C squad and somebody else was A squad, like that are bigger names.
Yeah.
So it seems like
Turner's on our squad.
Yeah. So it seems like the higher, maybe they do it that way, maybe they don't. That's just kind of the way I looked at it, just to kind of briefly look, because I'm looking at rev rate.
Yeah.
Because like if we had Belmo and EJ, the lanes are going to transition completely different versus Tang brothers and Stu Williams and they are higher rev players, of course. Maybe not Darren, but those guys are more higher rev players. But if you have like even more high rev players like Simo and a bunch of two-handers, your lanes are going to change completely.
Oh yeah.
So he was on A squad.
On top of the fact that you've got people that are not mentally grouping together, but naturally grouping together on the lanes as far as lane play.
Yeah, right. They're a little bit more together. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out because we have to see A squad because it depends on how much rev rate A squad has for you. For me, I want to see if there's any lefties. I'm sure there's going to be quite a few because it is a USBC tournament. The field's fairly large. I just don't know if there's any high-profile lefties on the first squad. But that was just kind of my one thing that I saw that was interesting. I'm like, okay, well, what's the rev rate like? So, like, guys who are bowling, like, if Squad C has a bunch of two-handers and EJ and these guys who saw on it, I mean, A squad is going to be in trouble with the burn. Possibly.
That's a good point.
It depends on how they play and what the pattern looks like and how it plays. Like, it could be drastically different than our squad because we're following A. So if we say we have high rev rate, but it's not as high as that, we're going to get kind of a little bit of a look there. So I don't know. That's just kind of what I looked at. That's what I thought was interesting is that, A and C seem to be a little bit more rev. Obviously, we don't know everybody, but seem a little bit more rev rate from the people we know. So it'll be interesting to see how our squad works out.
It is an interesting point.
That's what went through my mind when you sent me Scaccia, and then I was like, let me go see if it's right. So then I went through and I could see, everybody's on there. So obviously we don't know everybody, but just to see, maybe we'll have the most rev rate out of everybody. Maybe we have a bunch of 2-handers on our squad that we don't know.
Spraying and praying.
But that's what I'm going through my mind. Well, and unfortunately, we're bowling together. Fortunately and unfortunately.
Yeah, it's nice to be on the same schedule, but at the same time, it would be nice to be able to watch each other.
Yeah, like I could kind of maybe, I wouldn't tell you what to do, but be like, hey, I could go scout a pair out, or maybe you could come ask me like, hey, what do you think? I'm kind of lost here.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? What do you think I should do? Or stuff like that. So that would have been nice.
Yep.
But it seems like all the families got together.
Yeah. Oh, that was another point. Yeah. Like all of the Bones are on the same shift. All of you speculated on that earlier. The Tangs are on the same shift. Brad and Kyle are on the same shift.
Seems like the people who are close.
Yeah.
Get together because they don't want the coaching.
So
maybe.
I wonder if that's what it is. Even though everybody's allowed to have coaching with their ball reps and
family members, whoever's there,
members be there. They can't be in the players area like the ball reps can, but a player can easily step out into the concourse and talk to whoever they want. But that was a good point that you brought up. Was maybe that's what they're trying to avoid is the players getting together.
How did you play him? How did you play him? Okay, right. I'll watch you. You watch me.
Exactly.
And not to say that the PBA players are that much better than everybody, but they are.
Well, they are.
So right. So like, if they got together and they were, they were tight. You know what I mean? They're like, the ball reps have so many people to go to.
Yeah.
So if you've got you've got a buddy who's
how many? There's a couple per company. I mean, how do they even manage that?
I don't know. But the way I'm looking at it is, if like you're there watching me and my game, like things could change, right? Things would be good. And then in terms of like the pros, I mean, you know what I mean? That's just, they know more. They are out there more. They know each other's games pretty well. So it might even be more of a detriment to us regular folk. So maybe that's what they, like you said, are trying to avoid.
Right.
But it should be interesting. It's going to be exciting. I think we're going to get some more practice sessions in. We've got a big tournament this weekend, Super Bud Bowl.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
We've never been.
Yeah. So out in Oswego.
Oswego?
Where are we bowling?
Lighthouse Lanes on East Albany Street.
So that's funny. We're going to Oswego to bowl on Albany Street.
In 24 lanes.
But yeah, so Bud Bowl for like $5,000 or $6,000 on top.
$60 tender.
Yeah,
you can enter multiple shifts and
bowl a couple of squads.
And apparently, they're hard.
I guess they're pretty hard, except for the one lefty who just mashed them and shot 1,000. So I guess
lefty love
balled as per usual.
I heard you can't throw urethane though. I heard urethane's kind of like wishy-washy.
Really?
I heard Pearl looked really good. For at least the left. I don't know much about the rest of you guys, but we'll have to see what happens up there. I think we're trekking up on Saturday. I don't know what my plans is, if I'm going to leave tomorrow after work and just sleep in my truck or go up.
Start up a homeless encampment.
I mean, shoot, I'm broke. I mean, or go up with you and Joseph on Saturday.
We are leaving at the A-crack of dawn.
And I'm trying not to drive, which is cool. So we'll have to see what happens. But it is a hard pattern. I guess the cut usually is around 40 over for 4 games, which is my kind of event. Usually I'm a spare shooter, but recently I haven't been, or a strike shot guy for that matter. So we'll have to see what happens. First time out there. Apparently it's oil in the morning, no oil the rest of the day, and there's 3 squads.
Crazy.
And I guess they
talk about practicing for the burn, huh?
They sell out very fast.
Yeah.
Very, very fast. They like estimated out. So like my bakers, I estimate off like 100 teams. They estimate off 100 people.
What, the prize fund?
Yeah. They estimate
100 people?
Yeah, 100 entries. And they've been doing this for years. So
the 5,000 is based off 100 people.
No. It's like 1,000 for 100 people or something.
Oh, okay.
But it's like it's ridiculously low in terms of like you're gonna hit 100 because you've been doing it for so long and you literally reel out.
They just never change the rules.
Yeah, they just. What did we do last year? You got a same amount of teams. That's what we'll do.
What did we do in 1974? Yeah, sounds good.
I don't know how long it's been going for. I know it's a pretty big tournament. Guys come from all over. For $60, you can't beat it. So we'll have to see. Finals on Sunday. We're gonna drive up Saturday. If we make it, I think I'll have to see. Hopefully you make it, and hopefully. What kind of crap is that? because I'm saying hopefully you make it, and then hopefully I make it, and then we can drive together. And Joe. But if you make it, I'll feel bad because I'll be like, oh well, I'm not gonna go. I gotta work at the bowling alley because we
Yeah,
have
I'm not
tournaments.
worried about that.
Like, see, that's what I was like. Oh, it'd be so much
I
easier.
left you
if we
behind
go
at the
once.
freaking regional for crying out loud. You finished 4th. Remember that?
I slept at my buddy's house. I didn't have a hotel room. I'm just saying it'd be nice if somebody else makes it, so that way it's not like I have to re-drive up by myself 2.5 hours and then 2.5 hours home. I mean, but that's the other thing. Like, say you win and you just drove out there, I might find a hotel room.
Yeah.
And then come back in the morning just because it's going to be so far
What's the load of cash if you make it the next day? Like, what's not the load of cash number, but like the low.
There's an
dollar
instant. I don't know. There's an instant cash. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure if you hit even, you instant cash. Boom, here.
So before we go though, I do want to mention, because I forgot that since we were talking about the Jackson,
I am for real.
your buddy Cody Shoemaker,
My buddy,
has been absolutely
Lighting them up.
mashing them.
Are we buddies?
This
You think
year.
we're buddies?
I don't know, you talk to him a lot when you're out there.
Yeah, we chat when we see each other. It's yeah, like he's not afraid to come up to me. I'm not afraid to go up to him.
So he finished 5th or 6th. I think 5th.
Yeah,
Finished 5th. Just missed the step ladder tonight.
Just remember, he's in the PTQ every week.
That's right. He had to bowl it this week.
And came in
every
5th.
freaking week. And he has just been absolutely killing them. So
He's been doing good.
Congratulations to him. And then that Joe Grondin kid made it again, the sneaker kid.
Sneaker kid.
Squeaky.
He's a sneaker guy.
What's up,
Sneaker.
Jack? I wonder if that's Jack that's saying that, or is GF?
I'm a good looking guy. That's all I know.
So yeah, I wanted to say congrats to Cody because that was
yeah.
performance. And that was your two different patterns at the Jackson Classic.
I am for real. It was Billy Hardwick, 44. Well, it used to be 44, and the Chameleon, which is 39. I believe they had 2 different shots on 2 different lanes in the finals. I think the left lane was the longer lane. I don't really know. I just kind of am guessing off a ball choice.
Yeah, but the way that they chose their balls, they could play the lanes almost
identical. Yeah, seemed like they got stuff that kind of boomed a little more down lane.
Yeah.
I don't know what Simo was using on the right lane. I couldn't tell, but I know he was throwing a Cosmo on the left lane, and then Primal Shock, and then Venom Shock. Right lane Venom Shock, left lane Primal Shock for EJ. So a little stronger core, but it's got a it's cleaner core. Same cover. The other one was a little bit lower diff, lower RG. So interesting choices, but he played them almost the same. They looked almost identical.
He lofted it a lot more on the left lane, so I don't know if that was just a lane breakdown type of situation or.
Well, typically when we're bowling on longer patterns, it seems like we're bowling with less volume. I don't know what the volume is on that. I have to take a look, but maybe with Simo there and Maldo and Tommy Jones, maybe they kind of lay down point was pretty close, so he's trying to get a little bit further over it.
Yeah.
Try to get the ball to retain a little more.
It looked like it was only just the last few frames that he started doing that. But,
yeah. Well, I mean, dude, just freaking guy lights him up. So hopefully I can get his autograph while I'm bowling out there. Hey, I know
we're gonna bring a steno pad and a pen and just like while we're bowling, just like, excuse me, sir, do you mind?
How'd you get down here? Oh no, we're bowling 2 fields over.
I promise I have my athlete card.
Do they have an athlete card?
I assume you have to have identification to get into the bowling alley, so they don't try to charge you when you get in. And you can get into the paddock.
I mean,
they're not going to know who we are.
No, but I'm just saying. But that's my point. Like, regardless if I show up with an athlete, but are you sure you're bowling? Like, really?
You're going to try to get into the paddock, and they'll be like, "Excuse me, this is for bowlers only." Like,
here's my card.
Yeah, I know.
It looks like it's printed, son. We'll have to see what happens. That's why I had made sure they changed my name. I didn't know if that was going to be a big deal.
I'm Anthony Scaccia. Don't you know me?
Sir, your ID does not say that. Well, it does now with Sharpie.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. It is time for us to go bowling. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell to get alerts from the channel. Let's see here. We've got a couple more weeks before we go. And we are planning on either doing some recording or
we
haven't really decided on what we're doing while we're out there.
I don't know. It's going to be tough because if we weren't on the same squad, if we weren't on the same squad,
it would be tough if we weren't on the same squad.
If we're on the same squad, it's not like I've got 6 in a row. Let me go film Kyle on the other end of the house.
Yeah, that part is going to be hard. But I'm talking about like if we wanted to give some updates from the hotel room or something. while you're playing Nintendo Switch. We could do that.
Should I bring that? We're gonna need that. We're gonna have to kill some time.
Anyway,
I'd realize some new
so
games.
and then yeah, so we got a couple weeks before that. So
Should we do a Q&A on the ride out like all the pros do?
yeah, let's do it.
I think we get like tens of people.
Yeah, you guys have to help us out here. Get some Q&A.
We're here for you.
That's just what's in the back of the truck on the way out there. All right, so don't forget we have email downlanepod@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you can't watch on YouTube, you can always download and listen from any major podcast outlet. And I think that covers everything. Merch, Etsy shop. We got our new shirts out there. I'm here for the Fang Bang. It's a good one.
It is a good one. It is.
Zach Phillips already has his new shirt. And
He might have ripped it after he missed that 4-pin for the clean pot last night. I'll show you how to make 4, Zach. Don't worry.
Wow.
Shut up, bing bang.
All right. Thank you, Jax60, proprietor of Town and Country Lanes. Thank you to Austin.
The
Where are
producer.
you? Where are you tonight?
Yeah, darn it.
Hope you're doing all right at home, Austin. Thank you to my family, Stephanie, Zach, and Ethan.
Ginbread.
Anthony, good show tonight. We will see you guys next week. This is Downlane Podcast.